cheat codes to reality, like in video games or in real life? How cool would it be if magic was real? That'd be pretty cool, right? I have a lot of experience, and I guarantee if you pay attention to this lecture, follow along and put into practice what I teach here, something very cool will happen. I have experience with magic. The idea here is I have a little bit more experience than you. I've also cherry-picked a lot of wisdom, tips, and tricks from occult masters, adepts in this area. And I've incorporated a little bit of my ritual knowledge and practical know-how from my own practice into this lecture. And what I want to teach you today is called the sigil method. A sigil is a symbolic representation of your own desire. It's a personal symbol from your own personal intention. Magic is defined by Aleister Crowley as creating change. It's the art and science of creating change in accordance with will. This method was developed by a late, early 20th century occultist named Austin Osman Spare, who's now dead. He was a contemporary of Crowley's. He's a famous artist, and this is his kind of his legacy, this method. It was resurrected from obscurity by some more British guys in the 80s and 90s in this branch or modality of subculture, whatever you want to call it, of the occult called chaos magic. Chaos magic, this is a chaos magic ritual. It's very simple. Chaos is a streamlined way of approaching magic. There's a lot of tedium in ceremony magic, a lot of learning Hebrew, astrology, herbalism, mythology, all this shit. This is a very quick way to practice magic instead of studying theory for 2 or 3 years. And the idea behind it is you don't even have to believe in magic at all. In fact, I'm going to explain it through psychology. First of all, in your psyche, you have another half called a subconscious, which is this massively powerful thinker of your brain that is nonverbal, thinks in symbols, has perfect memory. And the idea that it communicates to you through a channel of one-way communication, and you're typically the receiver through dreams, psychosis, meditation, spiritual experiences, and like that. It thinks in pictures and symbols. So we are going to change an interpersonal communication channel from your conscious mind into your subconscious and into this thing called the collective unconscious that Carl Gustav Jung talked about. He mentioned that man had a common anatomy, and that so too they had a common psyche, a substratum called the collective unconscious. So from your ego, you create a desire, turn it into a sigil, put it into your subconscious, then into the collective unconscious of humanity. And right then there is where the magic happens. So in order to do this, you've got to find out what it is you want. It's recommended by a few people you start out with something mundane that you don't care about. So when it does manifest, it breaks whatever conscious blocks you have against magic. I have started a statement of attention with 3 parameters: peace, joyful, and in the moment. And I've added minimizing harm clause because these things come out in surprising ways, and this will be a good surprise. There are horror movies about this, and this is not going to be one of them. And I tell you here, you got to take out the vowels of this entire sentence, all of them. And you have a sea of consonants, and then from here, you take out all repeating letters, and you turn them and play with them. This is the art of the science. Frater Xavier, a man I follow on YouTube, says the most important part of this whole process is that you yourself are pleased. I'm not an artist, but I'm pleased with this one. It is simple, it incorporates all the elements I like, and it's unique for my subconscious to absorb. So the next step here is pre-charging. This is crucial because it helps embed the intention into the glyph, into your own psyche and such. So what you do is you stare at it directly, defocus your eyes, and look past it while still blinking and visualizing your intention. Just try to do that for 10 to 15 minutes, 20 even. If you hallucinate, that's cool. That's actually a good sign in the occult, in this particular sense it is. Or until the situation feels complete or a timer goes off. 20 minutes. And from there, you have to forget about it. You have to put it away. Let it go. Hide it from yourself. This is important because you have to avoid lusting for results. Your subconscious cannot manifest what your conscious mind is actively obsessing about. So you have to forget about it. It takes 30 days for me to forget usually what it is. There's a couple of theories. You can't watch magic happen. You can't see God's hand in your life, and as it's happening in hindsight you can, but you might want to keep a journal, just so at some point you look back at this and realize, that did this. And from there you can observe, hypothesize, and experiment and play until you find the working effectiveness of your ritual. The next step is the final step. It's the most fun. I swear to God. This is what you do in chaos magic. There's something called gnosis. It's an in-between state between conscious thought and your subconscious. So any state, drugs, sex, orgasm, meditation, falling asleep, boredom, just staring at itself, bungee jumping, roller coasters. The most popular method of this method of magic is infamous for the wank method, which is exactly what you think it is. It is simply masturbating and visualizing this when you come. If you have a sexual partner, use that. Grant Morrison, a comic book writer I follow who is also a chaos magician, says twirling is a really effective way, and you can do it anywhere. It achieves powerful gnosis, and it is safe and effective. And then once you're done, just dispose of it. That's all you got to do. I'm going to hold on to this for 30 days and throw the rest away and charge it. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. But dispose of it. You don't want to see it again. And that's it. That's the whole thing. It's just masturbating the squiggles. And how revolutionary this really is you can do any intention. This can easily be a money spell, a hex, talk to angels, increase your, So, and then any alphabet, foreign even, made up, imaginary, any symbol, the $sign, the Coca-Cola logo. We recommend not doing magical symbols because they already have meaning. You can do what you want. I literally don't care. And there is a method, set it and forget it. Any method for gnosis. So there's a lot of freedom here. And then other magic is tedious. There's a lot of initiations, rituals at dawn, dusk, invoking, banishing. This is the simplest way to create change in accordance with will. Well streamlined. Remember, this is going to be a surprise, so keep a journal. I'm going to stress that again. I've told you what sigils are. They're your conscious intentions turned into a symbol. I've told you how to set it and forget it, gave you suggestions on how to do so. I've taught you methods for gnosis, and that's the sigil method. Play with this. As you figure out what works best for you and feels best, that's the science and the art. And then you'll really know how cool it will be if magic was real. And you all are just a little bit cooler now that you know this. So, thank you. Okay.